guys, what is up? It's your girl, Dr. Samara, and I am back with another video. In this video, guys, I am going to show you the simplest strategy that I still use till this day that makes me thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Thousands of dollars. This is the exact trading strategy that I use when I send out my trading signals to my VIP signal group. So if you are ready to learn and know how to get the secret sauce, stay tuned. But before we get into this video, go ahead and go like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel because it is what? It is free, and let's get into this video.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Turn the lights down right now.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard that right. I know that a lot of you guys are beginner traders and you guys are consistently reaching out to me, asking me, what do I do to make profits in the market? Simply, guys, it's the most simplest thing that I use. It's really not hard. It takes practice though. Once you feel confident and comfortable, then the rest is gold, like literally gold. All right, y'all. So right now we're on TradingView, as you guys can see. So typically TradingView is one of those platforms that not only are you able to see the market at such a bigger screen, but you also have access to many different brokers that you may or may not be using. And you can also trade off of TradingView as well. Typically, I like to use TradingView for all of my educational videos altogether, just because you guys are able to kind of see the market and see the screen a little bit better compared to me showing it on my phone. Typically, guys, I trade on my phone on a day-to-day basis. I just don't have time now that I am a full-time mom, first-time mom. I am a full-time pharmacist, as well as a content creator, and so much more hats that I carry or wear, I would say. I just don't have time to get onto the computer and make those trades from there. It's just easier for me to kind of grab my phone, make my analysis, make my judgment, and then just kind of place my trade right there and then. And then I go back to it after maybe an hour or so, see if it hit my stop loss or my TP, and we're good to go. The key for me, guys, is that one trade a day is going to get you to your targeted goal. That's what my trading strategy and trading goal is to always accomplish one trade a day. And people who are in my VIP trading signal group will tell you that is that I will send 1 to 2 trades a day, simply because once you get that consistency going, and you understand that Forex marketing and just trading overall is more so longevity, not short term, you will understand that your money is going to compound and you're going to start looking at the benefits behind it. So enough of me rambling, because that could be another video. We're just going to go straight into the paint, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and select EURUSD. Okay. As a beginner trader, these are the different pairs that I used back in my day. When I first got started in trading, was the Forex pairs. Now that I'm a little bit more experienced and seasoned in trading, I only trade indices, more specifically NAS. All right, perfect, y'all. So this is going to be what you are going to be looking at when it comes to the market on TradingView. All right. So as you guys can see, it already kind of loaded up everything. And currently we are at the 15-minute mark, 15-minute chart time frame, right? When it comes to support and resistance, the main key, guys, the main key is determining what is the overall trend. Once you understand the overall trend of the pair for this market, within this market at that time, this is going to determine what type of entry are you going into. Are you going for a buy or are you going for a sell? Once you identify that trend, it's very important that you go and trade with the trend. If you trade against the trend, this is just from personal experience, you will lose every time. Okay? So first things first, in order to determine how or what is the trend for the market, you are going to go to your day chart. As you see here, overall, the day for EUR USD is going to be an uptrend. Okay, that is an uptrend. If it was a sale or a downtrend, it would be this here, which was basically around September, October, November, December area of last year is when it was in a downtrend. Right now, currently, it is in an uptrend. Okay. If it is in an uptrend, we don't want to necessarily say, hey, we're going in for buys. Now, in order to confirm that this is overall an uptrend, we must now go into our 4-hour chart, our 1-hour chart, our 30-minute chart, and then last but not least, you can look at the 15-minute chart, but most of the time, your 15-minute chart is going to be your entry area. This is your chart that you use to go into the market. So you want to make sure, let's make sure that we understand that your day, your 4-hour, your 1-hour, and your 30-minute charts are all aligned as far as trend. If it is all aligned stating that, hey, it is a buy market, which is an uptrend, then this is going to be opportunities that you're looking for buys, vice versa for the downtrend sell, etc. Right now, let's say you're looking at your day chart, right, and you see that your 4-hour and then your 1-hour, they're all aligned just like the 1 day chart, but then you notice that your 30-minute chart is not in sync with the rest of the older time frames. This is when you look at the 15-minute chart to see what of the direction is that 15-minute chart doing. Sometimes the news can cause the shorter time frames to reverse, but ultimately, this doesn't stop you from knowing that, hey, the overall trend, again, is going to be a buy. All right. So, despite the 30 minutes and possibly the 15-minute not being the same direction as your 1-hour, 4-hour, and day chart, does not mean that you have to reverse your decision or change your decision. Okay. So, this is very important to keep in mind because I'm not going to say every day that you get into the market is going to be rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes the charts are not going to be in sync. Okay. And this is where it is important to practice, practice, and practice for comfort to understand when or when not to get in. Okay. Again, this is why I also use pending orders. Okay. Pending orders are very beneficial when it comes to those moments, especially when you notice that your 30-minute and 15-minute chart is not in line with your day chart. This is very important because not only are you having to get right away at a bad position and losing money, but you get to wait until the market goes back to its primary market trend. And before that happens, you don't have to worry about the market hitting your price line, but you don't have to necessarily hurry up and try to find an entry. You know where the market is hitting at a lot, and this is where you're going to be looking at the wicks and things like that. But I just want to let you guys know that this is why I do pending orders, and this is why I am making lots of money by trading using this strategy. It's support and resistance and pending orders. I'm telling y'all, this is literally the secret to my sauce. This is how I am able to trade consistently and being able to make profits on a day-to-day basis. Literally, so simple. So we already determined that the day chart is an uptrend. We're going to go ahead and go identify what we say our 4-hour. All right, so our 4-hour is also, we kind of zoom back out, we notice that, hey, it is also an uptrend, okay? Let's determine off the 1-hour, all right? So the 1-hour, As you guys can see, zooming out, it is still in an uptrend as well. Okay. Now we're going to check the 30 minutes. The cool thing about TradingView is that they have multiple different time frames. You guys don't have to necessarily go with the same time frames that I do. I think it's just easier to go that way. It's just kind of awkward to go 45 minutes and seconds and all that. As you guys can see here, zooming out, we notice that it is also in a trend as well. This is still the trend line from the day chart, right? Okay, last but not least, we're going to go into our 15-minute chart. And what did I say before? Our 15-minute chart is going to be the chart that we use for our price entry. What I mean by that, guys, is basically once you determine that the overall market is going into a buy or a sell movement, this is when you start back to your 4-hour chart. And we want to kind of go with wherever the market is. So the market is currently moving right now. It is roughly 11:27 p.m. Central Time here in Texas. So right now I'm just zooming. Uh-oh. Now you see how I don't want me to be great. Okay. So we're just going to go where the market is. All right. The only time that you are not necessarily going where the market is basically if you're wanting to find a profit entry, or not a profit entry, but if you're wanting to find like a price entry or maybe a TP, and let's say the market or the candles are too far off and you don't see the foundation that you're looking for, right? So that's when you kind of go back into time to see where the market was at currently at this area that is current now in, right? Okay, so the key primary things that we want to identify when it comes to our support and resistance lines, the simplest thing is making sure that we are getting the same twin tower candles. Okay, what I mean by twin tower candles is that both of the candles are flats. It doesn't have to necessarily be flat. The market's not going to always give you flats, but let's say you have a red candle and you have a green candle and they're flat aligned together. This is where we want to put the support or resistance line at. The second thing is looking for a shorter candle next to a longer candle. Okay, what I mean by that is here. As you guys can see, this is a shorter candle was what I was referring to, and this is a longer candle next to this shorter candle. Okay, I want to necessarily go, and this is where I'm going to put in my support or my resistance line because currently we don't know if it is going to shoot up anymore. So we're going to go ahead and put that here, right? Another way that I like to place my support and resistance lines is also when there are two wicks. It is a little bit tricky when it comes to wicks. So I normally, if it is a wick shooting out of the candle, I want to basically hover over the solid base of it. Okay, even though there is a wick hovering out of this base, I still want to align my support and resistance lines there. Okay, so we want to look for twin flat tops, flat bottoms. We also want to look at the shorter candle, longer candle, which is known as the Harami candle. It's very important that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and go identify what these different types of candles are. Go into the Candlestick Bible. It's a very useful tool, especially for beginner traders to use. Okay, so this is where we're going to map it out. You see here we have the smaller candle and the bigger candle. We're going to go here. And we're going to do a smaller candle, bigger candle. You see that the wick is shooting out, but we want to put it where the base is at. Okay, so as you see here, we want to be where the movement and the traction is here, as you guys can see, right? All right. Then we want to kind of keep going. As you guys can see here, we have a smaller and a longer candle here. One more time. And then we have here, we kind of want to get where the market is at. So there we go. This is, again, this is the 4 hour chart, okay? So we're not done putting our support and resistant line. Your 4 hour, you don't have to necessarily put this many support and resistant lines how I do, but I like to do it because in case if this is on the 1 hour, I don't have to remark it again, all right? So now we're gonna go to the 1 hour and see if there's any support and resistant lines that we need to cover on the 1 hour. All right, as you guys can see, there is some movement that we want to cover. So right here, as you guys can see here, we have the smaller candle, little candle, also the wicks that are shooting out. But what do we want to do? We want to cover where the bases are, okay? As I mentioned to you guys before, I want to go where the market is at. I'm actually going to go here real quick and place it right here, okay? Because this is where the market was at once upon a time. This is some good movement here. But when I say where I want to place where the market's at, this is what I mean. As you guys can see with these two wicks shooting out with almost identical shaped candles, I'm still going to put it at the base though. You see right here. And then let's see if we can put another opportunity for support. Whereas, as you guys can see here, is not very much identical, but we're going to put it right here at the base. All right. Last but not least, we're going to go to the 30-minute and see if there's any other support and resistance lines that we want to kind of put up with. So as you guys can see with the 30-minute, there's not really much of a difference. I'm not going to make this chart chaotic. It's where I want it to be. These are enough support and resistance lines that I feel comfortable with as far as making a decision on what type of pending order that I want to get in for the price entry. Okay. Now, the most important things, guys, is now we're going to go to our 15-minute. 15-minute, guys, as you guys know, we're going in for a buy, right? We know that the market has been in this area once before and is reversing back up to a buy, right? What I want to do as a beginner trader using my strategy, this is what I would do. I would go in, okay, for a price entry buy stop, okay, a buy stop price entry at 1.11194, okay? This is my price entry buy stop. And my TP is going to be 1.11378. Now your stop loss, which is already here for you, you can shorten it if you would like, but based on my account size, I would put my stop loss 1.10833. Okay. If you wanted to shorten it, like let's say you don't feel comfortable losing that much, depending on the lot size that you have or that you're using, you can go ahead and use this here. So this is how I would normally send out an idea to my team. So basically, we will go in for a buy stop. The price is going to be the entry that you want the market to get in. I told you guys that I'm going in for 1.11194, right? TP, which is your profit, your take profit that you want to get out of the market with your profit. This is going to be 1.11378. Stop loss, if needed, is going to be 1.11033 or 1.10960. This is literally what I send to the group. Now, with the stop loss, I normally don't send it out because, again, everybody's profit and I wouldn't say profit, but everybody's account size is completely different. You may be coming in this group where you only have $50. You may be coming in this group where you have $1,000. Everybody feels comfortable losing a certain amount of money, and I just don't want to be responsible with who wants to lose this much and this much is slowly based on you. So if you feel comfortable of setting your own stop loss or monitoring the market, I would suggest joining my VIP signal group. It is not something that I would say is beginner friendly because you have to understand how to get into the market and how to get out. This is something where, hey, if you didn't feel like looking at the market and you just want kind of like a boost to help build your account, you can join, right? But this is basically the whole setup, guys, when it comes to my trading strategy. This is the sauce to how I trade in Forex. This is why I am still trading in Forex because of this strategy. If it wasn't for this strategy, guys, I would not be trading Forex. I'm so serious. It's super easy, and I hope that this video was very informative to you all. Like I stated before, check this trade out. It is active right now. Comment down below if you taken the trade by the time that I publish this or post this video. But if you need more assistance, guys, rewatch this video as many times as you can. But this is literally how I go about with making my trades. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and go like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel because it is what? It is free. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.